I woke up this morning to 100 views. 100 views! 100 views! Thank you. I've done a video 2 days ago, my first video, and I woke up this morning and I've got 100 views. And I'm humbled. So thank you for everyone that took the time out to watch the video. But here we go again. Saturday, one more day before the final. How are we all feeling? So the last video I've done, I rambled on a little bit. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to go straight into it, and we're going to be talking about the starting lineups tomorrow. The starting lineups that I expect both teams to have, and the way I'd set up if I was picking the England team. So let's go. Do you know what? I'm just going to touch on one thing, because obviously the media is going crazy at the moment. Everyone's talking about different things, and going back to the Holland game about the penalty. When I first saw it, I didn't think it was a penalty, but then after seeing the replays and giving it a bit of thought, Kane's got there first. There's contact on Kane after the shot. The studs are up, and listen, if that is anywhere else on the pitch, that's a foul. So if it's a foul anywhere else, then it's a foul in the penalty box. It's a penalty. Job done. You know, we've had a lot going against us in past tournaments, so it's about time we had a bit of luck, isn't it? Right, let's move on. I've written down my mastery on a piece of paper, so please excuse if I shift away, no contact. So let's talk about Spain first, because they are rebuilding, aren't they? And I'm sure we all see at the start of the qualifications they got beat 2-0 by Scotland. But we've got to bear in mind that this is very much a team in transition, a lot of younger players coming through. And the way they're going to start tomorrow, I think, compared to how they started up against Scotland, I think you're just going to have like three players that started against Scotland will survive and start tomorrow. And Spain have just, it's all clicked for them, isn't it? A lot of young players, the manager's been rotating, using different players, and now they've come to kind of like settled of where they know what their best 11 is. And it's a great team. It's a great squad. It really is. It really is a really good bunch of players. And the manager has got them playing right, and they're playing really, really well. So the team that lost against Scotland will have no reflection on the team that we play tomorrow. Right, so let's get to it. I think Spain's starting lineup tomorrow, they're going to start with a 4-2-3-1. Goalkeeper, although it reads as Simon, because it's Spanish, we're going to say Simon. There we go. Right back, I'm expecting Carvajal to come back in. He missed the last game. Jesus Navas played at right back, but Carvajal I expect to come back at right back. The two centre-backs will be Lenormand and Laporte, ex-Man City defender who's now plying his trade in the Saudi League. At left back, you've got the man mop, Cucurella. And then the two centre midfielders, Ruiz and Rodri. Yamil on the right wing, Williams on the left, Olmo as the attacking number 10, and Morata as a striker up front. And yeah, I'm expecting that to be a 4-2-3-1. Obviously, the star men for Spain, the obvious ones will be Yamal after his sudden emergence, Williams on the left wing, Rodri obviously is their anchor man, isn't he, in centre midfield, and Olmo, who scored that fantastic goal against France. Great first touch, by the way. So I've earmarked them to be the 4-star men, the kind of guys that we've really got to look out for and try and keep quiet. So that's how I expect Spain to set up. With England, it's going to be Pickford goal, Walker, Stones and Gahey. So 3-4-2-1. 3-4-2-1, I think it kind of looks on paper. So Pickford, Walker, Stones and Gahey as the 3 centre-backs. Saka as like a right wing-back. I think he'll start Shaw on like the left wing-back. I really, really hope he does. I've heard some whispers that he might stay loyal to Trippier. But I think it's so important to play Shaw just for that balance. So before I go into other things, I'll just read out the rest of the team, which I expect to see tomorrow. So then we'll have Rice and Mainu centre mid, Foden, Bellingham ahead, and then Kane as the focal point striker. So going back to why I think it's so important to play Luke Shaw at left wing back is obviously for that balance, but obviously one of Spain's main men is Yamal. He's in a really good moment right now. He's going to be full of confidence, and I just think that if he's running at Trippier and going out on the outside with Trippier being like the natural right footer, it's going to be a problem. So I really, really hope that Gareth will play Shaw at left back. So like, I expect one change from the Netherlands game. Now moving on to the team that I would pick, a bit controversial. For this game in particular, I would go, it looks on paper as a 4-4-2. Pickford in goal. Walker right back, Stones and Gahey centre backs, Shaw left back, and then we've got Saka right wing, Anthony Gordon left wing, Bellingham and Rice centre midfield, and then I'd have Kane playing as a number 10 and Ollie Watkins as the striker. So let me give you my reasonings for that. As much as I like Phil Foden, for tomorrow's game and the system that I'd play, I wouldn't start him, because I think we need that natural depth, and Gordon on the left side, that's where he plays it for his club. Also Mainu is unlucky to miss out, but I just think you just got to look at this as a one-off game, and you got to play your best team and play the best way to get a result. And I really think that dropping Bellingham back to play with Rice in the middle will work a lot better for us. I alluded to in my last video that I didn't think Bellingham's best position was as a 10. I think his best position is as a centre midfielder next to Rice like that. And I think Bellingham's better with the game when the game is in front of him. You know, if you're an attacking player, you're making runs, the ball's coming over the top. I think Bellingham's such a class player that he needs to be on the ball and he needs to be a little bit more involved. And obviously in centre midfield, he'll be that focal point and he'll be on the ball more. And just to have that presence there, and him playing like with everything in front of him, getting on the ball and spreading passes like that. And of course, with Rice being the more defensive one, Bellingham can still get forward, and he's probably more effective getting forward when he'll probably get more space and more opportunities running from deep than he would do if he's further up top. Now, Rodri for Spain, he's their anchor man, isn't he? He's their creative kind of spark. He's probably the one player that they're all looking to find as soon as they get the ball. Now, what I've noticed about Declan Rice's position in this tournament is he literally just sits in front of the back four, doesn't he? Like a protector, like that. personally, I would put him right on Rodri, like man mark him, to try and take him out of the game as much as we can. Because if every time Spain get the ball and they look up and Rodri's in space, it's going to him. And there's no point Rice being sat in front of the defence with Rodri having space and time on the ball. Because he's like a Pirlo kind of player, isn't he? He'll get the ball and he'll create, and you know. And if we give him the chance to dictate the game and run the game, then he will. So I would really play Rice on him, like you move, I'll move, really, you know, and try and suffocate that. And the reason as well why I've brought Gordon and Watkins on is look at that pace. Look at that pace. Saka, Watkins, Gordon, Kyle Walker. Look at that pace we've got, you know. And I think Kane and Watkins, that'd work perfectly, because Watkins likes to run in behind. He likes to run into the channel. He'll stretch their defence. And Kane, as you know, he likes to drop in, doesn't he, as a number 10. So to me, that's a perfect combination of them two playing together. Can you imagine Kane dropping deep, turning around, and he's got Watkins, Saka, and Gordon making runs? We need to stretch Spain. We need to give them something to worry about. We need to keep them occupied. They're probably going to have more of the ball than us. So when we have got the ball, we've really got to make it count. And I think with that pace, with the outlet of that pace, with Walker as well, you know, defenders don't want to play against pace, do they? And we see a little bit against the Netherlands game where the tempo was a little bit better, you know. But before then, it was really slow, wasn't it? Really slow. And I think our best way to play is with the pace, because no defenders like playing against it. It gets you up the field, and you know, if we are under pressure, one good ball over the top, and we're in, aren't we? You know, and as well, like I said, I love Phil Foden. It'd be unlucky not to start, but I think Anthony Gordon could be our secret weapon. I really do, and he's been chomping at the bit to have some kind of involvement in this tournament, and I think he's been quite unlucky, to be honest with you. And I know for a fact, if he's given the chance tomorrow, he will run his socks off. He really will. He's a very kind of like simple player in the way that he plays. He's very direct, and with Luke Shaw, the natural left footer on the left side, giving him good service, I think he could create Spain a lot of problems. And there's also that surprise element there, because I'm sure Spain wouldn't expect Anthony Gordon to be starting, you know. But when I look at the forward players that I've just mentioned in that system, I just see so many different options and so many different ways of like how we can hurt Spain, you know. And then once you do stretch them, then you've got Bellingham running on, haven't you? You've got Bellingham with the late runs into the box, picking up pieces. And I just think in that system, if we play that way, it gives Spain so much to think about. I also think, like, with the kind of impact that Ollie Watkins had the other night, he come on with 10 minutes, and he's been chomping at the bit as well, hasn't he? It can't be easy for these guys that sitting on the bench, and they know they've been top goal scorer for their team, and they're their top players. And he took his charge superbly, didn't he? Twice now. The two times that Watkins has come on, once against Denmark and against like Netherlands, for the time he's been on the pitch, he's really showed something that we haven't seen in the games, is it? That fast pace, that direct running and running in behind. And defenders do not want to play against that. Do not. And if you look at the Spanish back line, it's not the youngest back line. They're probably not blessed with much pace. So to have to deal with the Saka, with the Watkins, with the Anthony Gordon, you know, if we can expose their back line, their their fullbacks and get on the one-on-one situation. I definitely think we'll get joy out of that. And Anthony Gordon up against Carvajal. He's 32 years old, good defender, but I don't think he's really blessed with pace. I think we'll get joy out of that. And, you know, I think if Gareth sets up and just kind of like is in the mindset of getting in these one-on-one like positions, these one-on-one duels, I think we'll get so much joy out of that. Going back to Ollie Watkins, like I said, he's come on twice and he's done great, and an absolute magnificent finish against Netherlands. And he will be bursting of confidence at the moment. He will be absolutely bursting with confidence. It's like two greyhounds, like with Gordon and Watkins. You start both of them. Neither of them are expecting to start. If they see their name on that team sheet, that they're just like the confidence and the desire to really go out and really make an impact, I think can make a difference. And you know, like they say, like it's kind of like an unwritten rule, isn't it? A striker comes on as a sub, he scores, he starts the next game. A striker that don't usually start, he gets a start, he scores, he starts the next game. For Watkins to have that impact and to score that goal the other night, for him to then just be sat on the bench, can you imagine how demoralising that would be? You know, and his head would be down and kind of, you know. And if he doesn't start and he comes on, obviously he'll try and have an impact. But I would start him from the beginning. And, you know, if it's not working after 45 minutes, 60 minutes, then you've still got an abundance of like great options off the bench, haven't you? You know, if things ain't going our way after 60, 65 minutes, then what a great couple of players to bring on, impact players to bring on in Phil Foden and Foden, Palmer, Tony. We've still got loads of options to mix it up. So a lot of other managers I know it sounds stupid, like in a final, a lot of other managers don't always start with their like the best 11. I think in this day and age, I think it's important to have a few kind of secret weapons on the bench, you know. Can you imagine after 70, 75 minutes, like the players are getting a bit leggy, you know, and then you bring on Mainu for Rice, you bring on Cole Palmer for Gordon, you bring on Tony for Watkins. Can you imagine kind of like when all the others, like the Spanish team, are tired and you're bringing on these quality players and they've got a full tank to just go? I just think I really believe that if we kind of set up that way, we will it will suit us. We can't just sit back. We can't just sit back and let them have the ball and then trying to hit them on the counter attack. We've got to go out there with the arrogance and believe that we are the better team. I do think individually we do have the better players, and like I said in the last video, I know it don't mean a lot, but Spain in their last season domestically, they scored 102 goals, I think it was, and England's players domestically scored a total of 199 goals. That's nearly 100 more goals than Spain. You know, so we've got to play to our strengths. We've got to be brave, and we've really got to go for it. Another angle as well is we're not afraid of the penalties anymore, and we've got, if it goes to penalties, we're favourites. Quite simply, I think Pickford is the better goalkeeper and the bigger personalities in that kind of scenario to Simon, and the penalty takers we've got is ridiculous. The five that I would set up as, like, if it went to a penalty shootout, would be Kane, Tony, Palmer, Trent and Bellingham. And the sixth penalty I'd give to Ollie Watkins. Now, Kane, Tony, Palmer and Watkins, they all take penalties for their clubs. And they all have a really good success rate. I think when you're looking at like Ivan Toney, the Mr. Look who I'll do whatever I want, it's kind of, you already know you've got one in the bag. So that's my little thoughts on tomorrow. I'm nervous, I'm excited, and I'm happy. I can't wait. I don't think it's a game that you're actually going to be able to enjoy, because it's going to be you know, there's no need to cut your nails tonight, is what I'm saying. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be tense. It's going to be tight. I wouldn't be surprised if it went to extra time or penalties. But you know, you've just got to leave everything out there, haven't you? You've got to be brave, and you've got to leave everything out there, and you've got to match Spain up and have the arrogance that we are the better team. Like I said in the last video, the reason why Spain are favourites to win this game is solely due on how they've played this tournament. And England have underachieved, but I think we will peak. We will peak tomorrow. Every game we've got better, haven't we? And I think tomorrow the team have got that personality to really go out and just see this as a one-off game, and just believe that we are better than this Spanish team. And I think we'll win. I think we'll win. Whether in 90 minutes, extra time or penalties, I really think we will win. They've just got to be positive and leave everything out there. And if that ain't enough, there's no shame in that. But if we lose because we haven't been brave enough, or if we lose because Southgate has been a little bit too conservative, then that's going to linger, and that's going to hurt. And I don't want that bad feeling. Monday morning, just another manic Monday. I don't want it to be just another manic Monday. I want it to be like the best Monday that we've ever experienced as a nation. So once again, if you have any thoughts, please leave some comments. I love feedback. I love comments. I like to see what other people are thinking about how things go. But until then, let's keep everything crossed and just try and make it our time now, you know, because it's been too long.